it's time for Christmas. Oh, it's time for us. Oh, it's time for Christmas. Don't you know?
Hello everyone and welcome to Vlogmas day 13th of December, live-ish from Volcano Bay. Can you see the volcano? There it is. And today's story is going to be Disney's Peter Pan, Tinkerbell's bedtime story. And I want to dedicate this to the Disney grown-ups, Dawn and Gary. Gary's been a bit poorly, mate. So, poorly, mate? You've been a bit poorly, Gary. So this one's from me to you. It's a little story, it'll help cheer you up. And everyone else can enjoy it as well. Right. We'll do it facing there, so you can see the volcano and you can see me. You don't want to see me, just want to see the volcano. Right, here we go. I'm waffling. Shove over. No, you shove over. The raccoon twins are at it again. They're at it again. They're not at it again. They're at it again. Peter Pan knew the one. I can't see what I'm doing. Take those stupid shades off. Right, here's my stuff. You don't need to see me stuff. Right, where are you? There we are. Hang on a sec. There we go. This is really professional. Right, Volcano Bay. Peter Pan knew the bickering wouldn't stop until one of the boys had pushed out of the hammock. "Say, Tink," Peter said, "how'd you like to be the new mother to all of us boys?" How old is Tinkerbell that she could be a mother? She's got to be about 12 herself. She can't be a mum at 12. Well, not in Britain you can't anyway. "Say, Tink," Peter said, "but they're not in Britain, are they? They're in Never Neverland." Right, get back to it, Abe. "Say, Tink," Peter said, "how'd you like to be the new mother of all us boys?" Tink looked at Peter like he was crazy. Yeah, a 12-year-old taking on about 50 kids. I'm surprised she said no. Tink looked at Peter like he was crazy. "Oh, come on," Peter said. "You've seen all the guys since Wendy left. They're fighting all the time. They need someone to tuck them in at night and tell them a bedtime story." Tink was silent for a moment. "I guess I could ask Wendy to come back," Peter said, looking at Tinkerbell slyly. That did it. The last thing Tink wanted was for Wendy to return. "Tink is going to tell us a bedtime story," said Peter. I'm reading this like a div. The boys settled down. "Go ahead, Tink." Peter smiled. His plan was working perfectly. Tink sat down and crossed her arms over her chest. She began to jingle. "Once upon a time," Peter translated, "there was a beautiful fairy who, against her better judgment, lived with a pack of dirty, unruly, silly boys." Yeah, it would be the boys, wouldn't it? "And the dirtiest, unruliest and silliest of them all was me." No, it wasn't. Was Peter. Hey, Peter interrupted his translation. Tinkerbell jingled spitefully at him. Spitefully? Don't need to be spiteful, is it? He's only mucking about. "Okay," Peter said with a sigh. "I know it's your story, go ahead." Tink continued and Peter translated. "One day as the lovely Tinkerbell was minding her own business, the very smelly and unpleasant Peter Pan Tink asked her to tell a bedtime story. Well, Tinkerbell didn't know any bedtime stories, so she went to fetch Captain Hook." Why on earth are you going to get Captain Hook? Have another look at the volcano there. He's a baddie. He most probably lives in somewhere like that. In a grotto full of beer and dirtiness. Now, with that Tinkerbell, hang on a sec, we've missed bits. I've cheated here, I've gone too far. I used to do that at school. If I knew the teacher wasn't paying attention, I'd start reading at the top and I'd clock she wasn't listening and I'd just jump down to the bottom, pick it up about 2 paragraphs on the bottom, and then she'd go, "Oh, that was quick, and go sit down, Adrian." I said, "Yeah, thank you very much, miss." Subsequently failed English. With that, Tinkerbell flew out the window. "Tink, Tink, Tink, come." Hang on, I'm missing bits here. Tink continued, Peter translated. "One day, as the lovely Tinkerbell was minding her own business," and remember, Gary, this is for you, mate. Hope you get better soon. "As the lovely Tinkerbell was minding her own business, the very smelly and unpleasant Peter Pan Tink asked her to tell a bedtime story. Well, Tinkerbell didn't know any bedtime stories, so she went to fell Captain..." I've read all that before. Captain Hook, that's where we are, Captain Hook. So he could tell one. With that, Tinkerbell flew out the window. "Tink, Tink, come back," Peter cried. "Tink, Tink, come back!" Tinkerbell returned and hovered in the window, jingling with laughter. That was a dirty trick. Volcano Bay. That was a dirty trick, Peter scolded, and besides, it's nowhere to tell a bedtime story. He sat down next to the boys' beds. "You have to do it like that," Wendy said, "like this." Now it was Tink's turn to smile. Well, so she's not been smiling this entire time. So she's been in a bad mood. Not a Volcano Bay, can't be in a bad mood here. I've been on everything many times. It's been brilliant. Like only a couple of hours as well. The place is dead. Anyway, back to the end of the story. That was a dirty trick, Peter scolded, and besides, that's no way to tell a bedtime story. He sat down next to the boys' beds. You have to do it like Wendy did, like this. Now it was Tink's turn to smile while Peter told a bedtime story and the Lost Boys drifted off to sleep. Remember that film, The Lost Boys? Oh, what was her name in it? Jamie Gertz. Oh, she was fit. Back then, not now. Now it was... I'm sure she's all right now. It's just not my cup of tea. All right, back it in. Now it was Tink's turn to smile. While Peter told a bedtime story, the Lost Boys drifted off to sleep. Tink curled up in her own little bed and closed her eyes. Her plan had worked perfectly. There you go then, mate. There you go. From Volcano Bay, that is Vlogmas episode 13, December 13th, live-ish from Volcano Bay. Later, dudes. Oh, don't forget to subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. And I'll see you tomorrow for December the 14th. No, that'd be from somewhere else. I don't know where we're going to be. I'll see you later. From Volcano Bay! Later!
Oh, it's time for Christmas.